Hello, hockey fans of all ages, shapes, and sizes. I was watching Leafs Nation this morning, and someone made a comment about this, and I had a premonition of Tavares wearing Austin Matthews' jersey at the All-Star game, wearing number 34 with a captain on it. And unknowingly, Matthews would have the assistant with 91 on his back. And I'm not sure how many people would pick this up, but I had this premonition or vision that Tavares would pass the torch to Matthews at the All-Star game in Toronto in just a few, like in a week or a couple weeks here, I guess. I just saw the fans like exploding with joy in the audience, just like their minds completely blown. And Tavares would look like a hometown hero, I think, like the best team guy ever, because if you look at this strategically, I think Austin Matthews, the torch was passed in Calgary when he took the team on his back last week and just completely dominated that game. And I see him taking more of a leadership role in the media and stuff like that. He still looks a little bit nervous in front of the camera, but he's maybe a bit more shy of a guy superstar than Willie Styles is more, open and candid. I think they've had an amazing mentor in Tavares for all these years, but you look at the cap situation, and Matthews is signed and Willie's now signed way longer. So Tavares's contract is up, I think, at the end of next year, like Marner's. So there's a lot of uncertainty there. He's kind of in a slump, and I think most likely this would happen anyways, that they'll strip the C from Tavares with only one year remaining. So I think he could do this with strategically, with dignity, and the Heads fans would pop off in the arena at the sight of him pulling off Matthews' jersey with the captain on it and handing it over to Austin. Like, he'd get a freaking standing ovation. So just wanted to say as well, shout out to the BCHL alumni game. Shook hands with Neil Eisenhut. Had a beer too at the Parrot with those guys later. Tomlinson, the color commentator for the Vancouver Canucks, great guys. Neil Clark was there. Shout out to him for his plumber role in Shoresy. Shook hands with Dylan Playfair and Tyler Johnson. Big fan of their show, Letterkenny. And I was saying to Tyler, any roles for Shoresy coming up for you? Now that Letterkenny's ending. Anyways, it was so cool to meet some of those guys. And as well, shout out to Max Heisey, being in the All-Star game. I was there for his hat trick game, and he's been added to the Central Scouting, which is awesome. And shout out to a couple young lads from Slovakia, or the Slovak Republic. I'm not sure. Slovaks, anyways. Tobias Pitka and Richard Barron. I talked to them while I was watching the game, outdoor game at the Penticton outdoor rink there near City Hall. I was talking to them for about a half an hour, just about where they came from and hockey mentality. And I said, "You guys going to make the show?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." So keep an eye out for those guys coming up. And Tobias is committed to Boston College, BC, and I was like Will Smith and gave him a fist bump. So really great to see the future of hockey and their enthusiasm for it. And I guess we'll see what happens with the All-Star game. I'm really excited actually this year for the All-Star game, because it looks like they're going to incorporate more events per guy and maybe less competitors. So, and then it'll be just a lot of fun. And I hope that they don't pick all the home team guys on one team. I'd love to see I think Rosie or Nick said that this morning. I'd love to see those guys play against each other and kind of mix it up, put the lines in a blender, and just have some fun out there, because I think the season's going to get real. I think Keefe is kind of teetering on a potential coaching change, and I don't know if they'll pull the trigger on that, but I believe, looking from the management standpoint, if it doesn't go well, there's layers to accountability here. So if they put in a coach and they go off like the Oilers. And I just another comment about Perry, as hockey Illuminati guy. He commented on it and he said Edmonton sealed the curse for losing in the finals. So hopefully that final is with the Leafs, because there's a lot of great teams, Canadian teams in the West, and if we do have a Canada final, like I was hoping for last year, it's going to be an absolute gauntlet, and they're going to kick the crap out of each other over in the West. So that might bode well for the team in the East, whether that's the Leafs or not. They still might even miss the playoffs. So I like how the Leafs are playing. They seem to be taking on roles, as I mentioned in a last or a past vlog with Versteeg and Bunkus there on Bunkus podcast. I like that they're bringing in Robertson, and who knows if the Sharks or anybody makes a deal at the deadline. I could see potentially guys like TJ Brody or whatever, or some other defense going down to the Sharks for Ferraro, or any other team for that matter, if they want to do some upgrades and they don't want to give away first and second round picks. I could see sweetening it with prospects like Minton or Cowan, depending on the level of caliber of player. If they want to get like a third line center, I think they have to part ways with those guys. And if you look at it from a sentimental standpoint, there was one guy on Kipper and Bourne. I can't remember his name, but he was so smart. I'll give a shout in when I write the comments. But anyways, yeah, he was talking about you can't fall in love with your draft picks or your prospects, because if you're going for it and you already have a great team, like I think the Leafs and the Canucks and Oilers and all, like Jets, are going to be all in this year, because like I think Leafs haven't won in 40 years, and I believe like the Jets or Canucks have never won, just like the Sharks have never won. So there's a small list of teams that have never won at all, and I'm pretty sure the Jets and Vancouver have never won it either. So I would love to see sentimentally, but hey, the Oilers locking up Perry, I think they sealed their Western Conference final as the trend goes. So anyways, that's it for today. Peace.